Hello and welcome to the Riverside Show, where we've installed some extra cushioning on the sofa tonight because it's the day after our 47-mile cycle to Edinburgh for the STV appeal, and we're both feeling a little tender.
Speak for yourself, David. I feel fine. No bother at all. Maybe slightly. Now, we'll take a look at how we got on later in the programme, but before all that, we've got plenty of other things to keep you entertained. Here's a taste of what's coming up on the show.
Can I sit down now?
Yeah.
Okay. Tonight we take a trip back in time to 15th century Easter House and have a look around one of Glasgow's oldest buildings, the historic Provan Hall in Auchinleigh Park.
Very, very, very important as far as Scottish history is concerned. It's also recognised as one of the most haunted places in Scotland as well. Several recognised for the place as a famous murder.
Do you like music and movies? Well, we've got the perfect combination for you on tonight's show because we talked to the organisers of the Southside Film Festival, which this autumn is, funnily enough, all about music-related movies.
Who are your neighbours, and you realise that, well, actually they're making films, they're writing films, they're shooting films. It's something that I can do.
Yesterday saw 9,000 cyclists of all ages and abilities set off from Glasgow Green, cycling 47 miles to Edinburgh as part of Pedal for Scotland. Jennifer, myself, Colin and Storm joined in the cycle to raise money for the STV appeal, and you can see how we got on later in the show.
And we raised, for the STV appeal, we raised over £100,000 last year, and we're hoping to top that this year.
It's a huge event for us, isn't it, for the appeal? Huge.
And it wouldn't be the Riverside Show without a great Glasgow act performing for us, and tonight is a 10-piece band who incorporate, you ready for this, soul, new wave, Motown, blues, ska and funk. They are the Cutthroat Razors.
Now, as well as all that, Colin will be out with the STV Glasgow bus. Colin, where are you this evening?
Well, thanks to Ped's excellent driving, I'm at the very edge of the beautiful Room Arena just outside Helensburgh to visit the Helensburgh branch of the RNLI lifeboats. Now, it's one of over 200 stations in the UK and it serves the likes of Gairloch Head the whole way up the Clyde. It's been called out 27 times this year. I'll be finding out more about that later, and it's all thanks to the help of 19 crew who are all volunteers, and it's run solely on fundraising and donations. More on that later.
Looking forward to finding out more about that later
Absolutely.
in the show. And we've got another great selection of your favourite Glasgow chefs lined up to cook our tea for a tenner this week. And we're starting off the week with Mahesh Joshi from the Glasgow institution that is Mr. Singh's. Josh, what are you making for us tonight?
Tonight I'm making a haggis pakora, which is Indian and Scottish twist. And with that, I'm making a pakora dip as well.
Oh.
That sounds
I've always wanted to learn to make my pakora and dip.
Right, you got your notepad ready to take some
Uh-huh.
notes? Excellent stuff. We'll see that later on in the show. Now, loads coming up, but first, all next week, you have got the opportunity to get behind the scenes of many of Glasgow's oldest and most fascinating buildings as part of the 2014 Doors Open programme.
We love a bit of history here on the Riverside Show, and today we went along to the Provan Hall in Easter House to learn more about one of Glasgow's oldest buildings.
My name is Steve Allen. We're standing in the courtyard of Provan Hall House, which is one of the oldest buildings in Glasgow and dates back to medieval times. It was built by the cathedral, Glasgow Cathedral. Provan Hall, we think, dates back to 1460, because that's when the first prebendal manse was constructed in 1460, and this was the most important prebendal estate. I've been here for about 27 years next January. I started off here as a night watchman. Wasn't exactly doing anything but history, I think, didn't even take it at school. And we got a lot of tourists up, and I couldn't tell them anything about the place. So I started doing a lot of research, and the more research I'd done, the more hooked on history I got. Historical wise, it's very, very significant. I mean, it could have been a hunting lodge for King James IV of Scotland. It was owned by the Hamilton family, Duke of Hamilton. It was owned by the Baileys, Sir William Bailey, who was Lord Chief Justice for Scotland. Very, very, very important as far as Scottish history is concerned. It's also recognised as one of the most haunted places in Scotland as well. Several recognised for the place as a famous murder happened upstairs here. A man saw his wife and child after coming back from the war. There's a four-poster bed against the wall, and she was dragged from the bed and thrown to the floor here. and she was stabbed to death on the floor. He ran from here, he was caught by the local militia, taken into Glasgow, tried, found guilty, and he was hanged in the Glasgow Green for the murder. There's the last private owner of Provan Hall walks across the other side of the house here. There's been sightings in the courtyard and the house itself. Pretty spooky place. The table is one of my favourite pieces of furniture in Provan Hall, and the wood comes from the very first bridge that ever crossed the River Clyde. The first bridge across the River Clyde was ordered to be built by King David of Scotland, who was the son of Robert the Bruce, and it was built using oak from local forests. When they were building the present bridge, they took the banks of the Clyde away and actually found the original support beams were still there from the very first bridge. When they took them out, the wood had been preserved to such a wonderful extent, and the last private owners of Provan Hall here, the Mather family, took the wood off them and made a table and 4 chairs from the wood. Dr. John Buchanan was a tobacco lord. He built the second story of the newer house in 1790, and that's where he comes in. Heavily into the slave trade, so not that nice a guy. Buchanans were very, very prominent in Glasgow. Big, very important family as far as trade was concerned. He was heavily into trade with Jamaica, Southern States of America, and he had plantations there as well. But we don't know where Buchanan Street gets its name from. The Buchanan family were a huge family and very, very wealthy.
Everything that we do here for the community, for young folk, old folk, is all about teaching them about their history and their heritage in a fun way, in the hope that Stevie and I aren't always going to be here, although we'll probably be over here in Merzimmers, but it's for other folk to carry on the work that we've started and to keep the house alive.
And we're delighted to say we're joined now by Elaine Lee from the Glasgow Building Preservation Trust. Now, many people just don't realise how old Provan Hall is, but it really is a building with a huge amount of history, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's a fascinating place. It's a wee gem hidden, nestled away in a corner of Easter House. The local community know it's there and they love it and they celebrate it regularly, but beyond that, really, even throughout Glasgow and wider Scotland, it should be known about and shouted about, but it isn't really. So it's got origins in medieval period right through, and it demonstrates lessons in architectural and social history right through from the medieval period right through to the current period, really. So it's a fascinating building.
One of Glasgow's best kept secrets.
It is, definitely.
And apparently there's some quite interesting tales that are associated with the
are,
hall. Can you tell us some?
Well, some would have you believe it's the most haunted place in one of the most haunted buildings in Scotland. However, if you believe that sort of thing, obviously a building of its age and character has a whole raft of interesting tales and some myths and some based on historical documentary facts. I'm more for the latter, but if you're into your ghost stories, then definitely worth a trip up there at Halloween time.
There's some gory ones out there.
There are. The one I don't really believe in ghost stories, but in terms of historical tales and figures, really, it's got a lot of connections. You heard there on the video clip about the Baileys and the Hamilton family, and also Dr. John Buchanan, who was a plantation owner and had plantations in Jamaica and bought the building in the late 17th, early 18th century, and made lots of changes and adaptations there. So there's something for everyone, really, from ghosts to real-life historical figures. So.
Yeah, it sounds fascinating.
We're going there at Halloween then as well?
No, I'm too scared. I think I don't like scary stories. I'm not sure about that. I'll maybe visit other times of the year when I'm not quite as scared. But there's not just the building as well. There's like the whole estate. There's the grounds as well that have all got just as much history, isn't there?
Absolutely. Provan Hall sits within Auchinleigh Park, which is a beautiful park in its own right. But also beyond that, Provan Hall sits right at the heart of a huge area of natural and cultural heritage as well, which is going to be newly designated as the Seven Lochs Wetland Park, which Provan Hall is really proud to be play a key role in. And we're involved in bringing forward that project in partnership with a whole range of players, and hopefully Provan Hall at some point in the future, once it's repaired and enhanced, with hopefully a new visitor centre in its grounds. It'll become a gateway to that wetland park. So we've got a whole raft of natural and cultural heritage on our doorstep waiting to be explored and discovered.
Fantastic.
So much
Sounds
more
exciting.
than just the building. And do you have a kind of time frame of when that work's going to be completed, or we see it happening?
Yes, we're fortunate to be in a development phase at the moment, which is we've had some development money from the Heritage Lottery Fund, quite a lot of development money, which is enabling us to do lots of really exciting activity like the community archaeology project, the wee dig that's happening as part of Doors Open Day to raise awareness and find out a little bit more about its history and heritage. And we're working with other partners, as I say, towards submitting other funding applications in due course, and we'd hope to have repair work at Provan Hall on site sometime during late 2015, early 2016. So it's been a project that's been in development for a long time, but a building of this this nature and the age and its worthiness is really worth taking a long time to do it properly as well.
You need to get it right. It must be a lot of work to maintain a building like that and restore it all to the sort of the state that you can go in and visit it.
Yeah, absolutely. The building's actually owned by the National Trust for Scotland, and it's managed, it's leased by the Glasgow City Council, so they're responsible for managing it on a day-to-day basis. In terms of our role, I work for Glasgow Building Preservation Trust, which is a small charity, and basically our ethos is to rescue and repair buildings at risk throughout the city, buildings of historic and architectural merit, and we help other partners to raise funding and to deliver the work, so it really is a team effort.
Brilliant, and it's good to see that on the horizon towards the end of next year with the restoration works that are underway. Thank you very much, Elaine, for joining us on the sofa tonight. Now, we've got to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll be discussing how to improve literacy and numeracy rates in Glasgow on International Literacy Day. Plus, Colin will be in Helensburgh with the RNLI, which I can't wait to find out more about. That's going to be great. And we'll see you after the break on the Riverside Show.
Welcome back to the Riverside Show. Now, today is International Literacy Day, but here in Glasgow, we still have some of the lowest literacy and numeracy rates in the whole of Europe. We're joined now by Amanda Clark from Glasgow Life and Shirley Fox, who is an adult literacy learner. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Now, Amanda, why is this still an issue in Glasgow?
Well, Glasgow is a big city, and usually there can be issues of literacy and numeracy across areas like that. There are multiple deprivation areas. However, we try and address these issues by putting classes on, providers on, and so that people can come along freely.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's great news to hear. And Shirley, what sort of day-to-day problems do people face that maybe don't have the correct kind of skills when it comes to reading and numbers?
I think application forms, when they have to do them, and reading and writing is hard.
So what point did you decide that you wanted to try and improve your skills?
I was asked to read something at church and couldn't, so I wanted to learn to read and write.
Fantastic.
And Amanda, it could be something that people feel embarrassed about admitting. What would your advice be?
It is a huge stigma. I do get a lot of adults coming along and shaking in their boots, as you would say. However, when they come along, initially I would say try and make that change in your life and think about the change that's going to happen in your life and what would be good for you. But to get over that stigma, maybe talk to someone about it and maybe discuss it with a friend or go into the library and find out some more information about that. But try and make that change and go over the stigma. That's the main thing.
And Shirley, did you find you had support from friends and people at the church and everyone else sort of to help you get through and start learning more?
Yes.
Are there a lot of people that helped?
Yeah, there was, especially GAMH, which is an association that I go to every week, and they help me a lot.
And do you think that made a big difference to helping you learn? Would you have been able to do it without that support?
No.
No, absolutely.
And Amanda, how can people improve their skills then? What can be done?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, there's a number of providers across the city. We have, I work for Glasgow Life, and we have the Glasgow's Learning Helpline. We were just talking earlier about the Big Plus that we used to have as well.
Yeah.
So if someone makes that phone call, they will be put through to a local provider. Thereafter, they can meet informally for a one-to-one basis, have a chat, and then thereafter they can go through a learning programme and basically learn what they like. In Scotland we've got quite a good model. We call it the social practice model. So someone comes in and tells us what they want to learn, and we try and address that through an individual programme.
Fantastic. So how do people find you? Is there a website that the people are best to look on?
Yes, it's the Glasgow's Learning website. We have it here. It's a free website, free phone number as well.
Okay.
And then they will be put in contact with somebody locally, and they can come in and chat about that.
So is that www.glasgowlearning.org.uk. Fantastic.
Yes.
We'll get that on our social media as well, so if that's affecting anyone, they can find that
Click
there.
on that and follow it through. And Shirley, just tell us a little bit about the people that you've met through these different groups and different programmes.
Well, I go to the library and at Parkhead, and I've met, there's about 15 in our group, and we're all from different areas and all different backgrounds. So I met them, and I meet some of them outside for coffee as well as the group, so it's good that way.
Fantastic social sort of scene.
Good friends.
Well.
Yeah, very good friends.
Fantastic. And just quickly, are there targets set to improve the rates across the city?
Not specific targets. Maybe learning providers would have some targets regarding funding. However, what we want to do is give individuals an opportunity to come in and improve on their skills for daily life, for coping with aspects that are going to arise.
Perfect. Ladies, thank you so much for coming in to tell us a bit more about it. Great to have you on the sofa.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Now, here on the Riverside Show, we always like to get out and about to speak to the people that make a real difference in our lives in Glasgow and beyond. And one such group of people are the volunteers that work for the RNLI. And Colin has travelled down to Room Arena in Helensburgh, and he's there for us right now. Colin.
I am in full lifeboat regalia. And, you know, I'm with Peter Tyndall now as well. Now, Peter, you're a volunteer here at the RNLI. What got you involved in it?
Well, living locally and working on the sea myself, it was a good way to give something back to the other people working on the sea, and also for all the people that use the Clyde for pleasure use and keeping it safe. So it was good to get involved, and it's very rewarding as well. You get lots of support from the RNLI and lots of training, and yeah, it's great.
And how long does it take you to go from perhaps maybe sitting at home to this, and with the boat behind us as well?
It can take anywhere from 6 months to a year, depending on how much you put in. But it's quite a quick process, and anyone can join as a volunteer. So.
And you've been called out 27 times this year, perhaps not you personally, but the boat certainly has. What's the sort of variety of things that you're called to?
You can get called to people jumping in the water, deciding that going for a swim was a good idea, or broken down boats, or just anything involved in the water, really, we can get called out to. We were involved with the Commonwealth Games, so we're up there, so just anything.
And what's perhaps your most memorable moment?
There was a guy in a fishing boat who was about to drown. We managed to get there in time and save him, so that was always good.
It's remarkable. Right, okay, let's see if we can get this show on the road, shall we? Pass the microphone to Marco. Let's go.
And we'll see more from Colin later in the show. Now it's time for some live music, and the band that we've got in the studio is so big we could barely fit them in, but just as well we did, because they're brilliant. It's the Cutthroat Razors.
bring you to your judgment day. So let me hear you say, freedom, freedom, freedom. Oh, 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 yeah. Freedom, freedom, freedom.
Amazing stuff from the cupcake users there. I had to stop myself from dancing.
know,
Don't worry, we'll see more from them later in the show. Now we have to take a short break, but stay with us because when we'll be back, we'll be in the kitchen with Josh from Mr. Singh's India. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Welcome back to the Riverside Show, where we're joined in the kitchen tonight by Mahesh Joshi from the Glasgow institution that is Mr. Singh's India. Now, first of all, can we call you Josh? That's what you like to be known as, isn't it?
Josh, yeah.
Right, okay.
Josh, it is perfect.
Well, let's crack on then, Josh. Yeah. So, what are we making tonight?
I'm making a haggis pakoda, and it's kind of Indian and Scottish fusion. And so first, all prep is done over here. It's not we don't need much prep for a haggis pakoda. So there's a haggis here already cut. Okay. So first, there's Indian spices, very basic Indian spices. If you're making any curry in your house or any pakoda, anything Indian in your house, so you need these spices, and you can find these spices anywhere in any Indian grocery shop or anywhere in a big supermarket.
Okay.
So, and that's the main ingredient for making pakoda, gram flour.
Gram flour.
Yeah, if you heard about pakoda, only gram flour, no self-rising, no wheat flour, just a gram flour, right, which is very traditional Indian batter. And you can say a chickpea flour as well, made with the chickpeas.
What's the difference? Why is that the only one you can use? What happens if I was like going to try it with some self-raising flour?
Because the gram flour has a different aroma and flavor. Once you cook the gram flour, and it's a totally different from the other flour, and it's related with the pulses family, lentils family. Okay. So that's why we use a gram flour for it.
Now I can hear the deep fryer bubbling away here. It's not my tummy, I promise.
No, I think it's a few drops of water inside, so that's why.
Just in case you can't hear it, I just wanted to assure you it's not my tummy rumbling, it's the deep fat fryer.
I think your tummy rumbling has been disguised by...
So
that's a bit lighter, just.
So shall we start?
First of all, Josh, before we get into this, just talk us through all these
what have we got?
Ingredients, these spices.
So we have a salt here, there's a red chili powder.
Yep.
Okay. That's ginger and garlic paste.
Okay. Did you make that up?
Yeah. If you want, you can buy a ready-made ginger garlic paste from the market, but this one we made fresh in our restaurant. If you make a fresh ginger garlic paste, you just need an equal amount of fresh ginger and garlic. Just peel it, wash it, chop it, and make a fine puree with a blender. That's all you need to do.
Delicious.
So that's a ginger garlic paste. There's a turmeric powder, one of the very special Indian spice. It gives a nice yellow color to your curry or your pakoda.
Brilliant.
And very good for your immune system.
Oh, right. Okay, so if I eat more pakoda, then I won't get a cold?
No, you don't need any excuse.
So that's dry fenugreek leaves, okay? Crushed coriander sheets.
Yep.
That's cumin sheets.
Okay.
So these ingredients we're gonna use for a pakoda batter, and that's a roasted cumin for a pakoda dip. I'm gonna use it later on. And mint sauce. That's a fresh clean coriander and a tomato ketchup. So we have
goes with everything, tomato ketchup, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Saviour of everything.
Yeah.
Excellent. So how do we make the batter then? This is all going into our flour?
So everything will go in a batter.
Okay.
So I will make the pakoda batter with very typical Indian styles. I will use my hands, not a whisk and all.
Okay.
So that's a ginger and garlic paste. You must have noticed whenever you eat any curry or any pakoda, you smell ginger and garlic. So that goes in everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many bits of pakora will we get out of this?
We will get around 40 bits of pakoras with this
20 for you, 20 for me. Done.
So salt.
Okay.
There's chili powder.
Okay.
So you don't have to add so much spices in this mixture because your haggis is already seasoned. So you just need spices little bit for an Indian flavor. And crushed coriander.
Okay.
There's dry fenugreek leaves.
Fantastic.
And there's turmeric powder.
Good for the immune system.
Yeah, good for the immune system.
I like it. Is this quite a popular dish in the restaurant, Mr. Singh?
Yes, yes. Our 3 pakoras, chicken, vegetable, and a haggis is super hit in our restaurant. So
I've actually done this before at one of your master classes. It was a wee while ago.
So you've made this before?
But I just did a wee refresher.
So we don't need Josh doing it here. You should be making it all.
To be honest, I don't remember if I did all this. I think I might have just dropped it in the fryer.
So you didn't do any of the hard work?
And then I ate it.
Of course, of course. The most difficult
So once you add these spices in a mixture, so you just mix it first.
Mix it all up.
Okay. If you want, you can use a tiny whisk or ladle or any wooden spoon, anything available in your kitchen.
Okay.
So I'm just using my hand so I can feel my batter texture right.
Okay.
Okay, and I can feel like how much water I need. So I just need to pour water in it, small amount of water in a time.
So so that will go in, but just gradually. Okay.
Yeah. If you pour so much water in one time, so might be your batter will go runny, or might be you will see a tiny small lumps in your batter.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, we're going to put the ingredients up on the screen right now, so you can take note of what we've put into the batter so far and everything you need to make this at home. But it is quite a simple dish, isn't it? To put the ingredients in the batter, mix it, and I'm guessing.
That's it, yeah. But the main thing is your batter texture. If your texture is right and your temperature is okay, you can create any pakoda, whatever you want.
It smells lovely, the batter.
It does smell good, all the spices, you can smell it already. What kind of texture?
I will show you the texture. It's quite thick right now, so just mix it a little bit more.
How long does it usually take to make
the batter?
Yeah.
It will take like 3 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's still
just a little bit more water, and then
a little bit more water, and then it's ready to go.
Perfect.
Okay.
A wee bit more mixing.
Yeah.
Almost there.
Yeah. So that's your right consistency. So just mix it nicely and no lumps.
Great.
And
Okay.
that's the thickness there. Okay.
Well, we will leave you to continue to get on with this, and we'll come back a wee bit later on and see how we're getting on.
Can't wait.
Indeed. Now, we need all the food we can get our hands on today, because yesterday, as you know by now, we were joined by Storm and Colin at the ridiculous hour of 7 o'clock in the morning as we cycled to Edinburgh to raise money for the STV appeal. Take a look.
Excited and a little bit nervous.
Excited, yeah.
I don't know about a doddle, but we'll try our best.
No, some people are a bit nervous now and tense, so yeah, but it's good.
Yeah, well, it's great that so many people are taking part in the event. Last year, the Pedal for Scotland raised more than £100,000 for the STV appeal, all, of course, to help tackle child poverty in Scotland, and hopefully this year we can do even better.
I don't do this time of morning, so I'm not impressed by the start time.
This is unnatural.
It is.
7 o'clock on a Sunday morning?
Oh, I think, to be honest, if I'd known the start time was this early, I probably wouldn't have done it.
This is a good point.
For
47 miles
charity,
is
Colin.
bad,
Yes, for
but
charity.
no, it's all for a good cause. We're
Yeah.
wearing the nice tops as well, so everyone can see why we're doing it, and it will be worth it.
I thought we were just cycling around this fountain a couple of times. not do that instead, no?
Broken the news to David that he's actually going to have to cycle to Edinburgh.
47
so,
miles.
Yeah. No, training. I didn't know you had to train. Did you know you had to train?
Well, I did a wee bit. I cycled from the city centre to
Don't even lie.
and back.
I was
I
listening to the
for an
train
hour and a half
once,
in
so I
between.
ran for that. So that was my training.
Yeah, that's about it. So this could be interesting.
Very excited, really good actually. Wonderful morning to do it. You couldn't get better.
Feeling good, you know, did it last year, so kind of I talked Margaret through what we can expect, and of course we're here raising lots of money. Well, it was mental last year. I think there were 9,500 last year, and we raised for the STV appeal. We raised over £100,000 last year, and we're hoping to top that this year.
It's a huge event for us, isn't it, for the appeal? Huge. Oh yes, we'll make it.
We're 100% confident about Team STV.
Totally.
Anxious, nervous and angry that my wife put me up to this.
Well, I think we'll make it. We had a couple of practice rides the last couple of Sundays, 30 milers. Kirsty was fine on that, so that's good.
Yes, really looking forward to it. This is my second year doing it. We're going to go a little bit slower this year. Last year I went all out and we did it in like 4 hours.
Don't you know I'm only saying what you want to say.
Storm has joined us at last. Storm, how are you feeling?
Nervous or excited. I can't work it out, but I couldn't sleep last night, so it's one or the other.
Well, it makes two of us. What's the bit you're least looking forward to?
Well, I've heard that a sore bottom afterwards is very likely, so I suppose that's my worst fear, but I'm really looking forward to the cake in between. Apparently there's going to be loads of cake stalls.
Can't wait for cake.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. Over the last couple of years, I've always done cycling events for the STV appeal, but I've always done cycles to Shetland and Orkney, the Western Isles, and then come on to do this. But I actually haven't been back on the bike since last Pedal for Scotland, so I've not done any cycling at all since then. Well, there's a lot of really nervous people, yeah, I think there's a lot of nervous people worried about, 47 miles. It's a long way. It sounds a long way, but it's quite flat. There's a lot of places to stop off and have tea and cake, and the community's all come out and kind of spur you on as well. So actually, it's a really great, fun day out. But the events get bigger and bigger every year, and hopefully more people come and join us over the next couple of years to do it for the appeal.
Good luck once again to everyone from the STV appeal! Good luck for 3, 2, 1, Robert Woodward on his turn on goal! Go on, big fella, good luck to you all.
Coming up after the break, we'll be finding out all about the North Glasgow Arts Trail.
Welcome back to the Riverside Show. Now, next week, Glasgow will be celebrating its buildings, streets and parks with the Glasgow Doors Open Day. As part of this week-long festival, Depot Arts have organised the North West Glasgow Arts Trail, and Danielle Banks joins us, and Annie Crabtree from Arts Project Picture Window are with us on the sofa. Ladies, thank you very much for joining us. Now, what is the North West Glasgow Arts Festival all about, or the trail?
It's an arts trail in the northwest. Basically, we use public transport routes. We use the Route 75 and the Route 10, and we're also going along the canal. Yeah, this is the poster.
We've got a wee poster here. It shows us about. So if you see this about, it's exactly what it's telling you about. So you use the links, the transport links, to get around.
Yeah. Yeah, so you get on the bus and you can get off and go to different Doors Open Day venues, and also TPs that we've got arts projects going on. and just explore. Yeah.
Sounds good.
And so how did this event come about? Who came up with the idea? Who can take responsibility for it? Or credit?
I guess the project's been running a few years, but in a different form. We've been doing projects, Depot Arts have been doing projects on bus routes, working with different, it's kind of like working with different organisations and just to link up with those different organisations. In previous years, we had Bus Culture, which is Annie's project with Picture Window.
Fantastic. So tell us a wee bit about Bus Culture.
Bus Culture was when we had musicians live on the buses. So as part of the Arts Trail, the bus route connects up different art venues along the way, and Picture Window was asked to be involved. And so normally we'd be doing public artwork where we project in windows, but we didn't think projectors were going to work very well on the buses. So we had live musicians instead. And the main idea was just to take all of the music and the art outside of the venue and make it immediately available to people on the buses who were just on their day-to-day commutes.
Sounds very cool
it
indeed.
does.
A wee bit different, which is nice.
And I'd imagine you got a great reaction then when people come on and see live musicians on the bus.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting it, but that was the idea, and I think it was quite a unique experience for the musicians as well, because it's a very different dynamic. You're having to perform to people who might be sitting like directly next to you, or not expecting it at all. So I think it started a lot of conversations.
But probably more entertaining than a projector on the bus, eh?
Maybe, yeah, they wouldn't really work.
Now, Danielle, going back to the trail, can you tell us about some of the things that you might expect to see on the trail?
There's loads. There's a darkroom TP. You can go and explore loads of different community gardens. There's hand dyeing and there's hand printing. I've got some hand printing example here, actually.
What's this here we've got? Is this a...
This is one of the teepees.
So we would see this on the trail then?
Yes, this
Right,
will be as a teepee, and then hopefully inside we'll have a hand printing workshop, so you can make your own hand printed things. And I did this with a community group in Possil called the Keep Creative.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Workshops
We
there.
can keep that and stick it up in the studio and have a wee camping night in the studio.
That sounds like a great fun idea. Nice one.
And there's a lot of different events and people involved in this. Is it quite a big event to organise?
Yeah, I've been very busy.
Yeah.
It's quite good though. I mean, it's really interesting. This morning I was foraging with a woman in Drumchapel as a kind of a meeting, and I get to meet loads of interesting people. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
And Annie, what do you make of the art scene here in Glasgow? You hear about a lot of creative different things going on, but did you say it's thriving?
Definitely. I mean, there's obviously quite established stuff like the art school, and then people who've run the Turner Prize, and that's amazing. But I think what I think is really unique about the art scene in Glasgow is the stuff that happens outside of the venues. So like the Arts Trail, and then all the different public art, and there's a lot of space for that to happen in Glasgow. Lots of different buildings and areas that people are using.
Yeah. And Daniel, very quickly, how can people get involved? When can they come along?
On the 25th September, 12 till 4, at Calcaddens, at the bus stop opposite Calcaddens, or on the Route 10, the bus stop opposite Buchanan bus station, or at Applecross on the canal. They can join the canal route, or in Drumchapel Park as well.
Brilliant. Sounds great.
Yeah, it does sound a lot of fun.
Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you. Now, from one initiative that looks to improve people's lives to one that undoubtedly saves them, Colin has spent the day in Helensburgh with the volunteers from the RNLI, and when we saw him last, he was launching one of the RNLI boats. And are you back in dry land now, Colin?
I am indeed back on dry land. The suit's back where it should be, with professionals and people who know what they're doing. Now I'm joined by Carrick Roy, who's one of the DLAs here at the Helensburgh RNLI. Yep. First of all, what's a DLA?
Deputy Launching Authority. There's 3 deputy launching authorities at Helensburgh, and we'll have one station manager, being Colin Gardner.
Now, you mentioned earlier it's all volunteer-led.
Totally voluntary.
And how important then is donations and fundraising to the RNLI?
It's extremely important. The RNLI, as an organisation, is dependent on fundraising and also sort of legacy donations.
And as for your role, I mean, what does it entail if, for example, you get a call out?
As volunteers, you know, if our pagers go off, you know, it's a case of 24/7. You know, doesn't matter whatever time of day or night, we come sort of legging out the door. It's within legal limits, and get down here as quickly as possible.
As for this year, you've had 27 call-outs. Is that increasing or going down?
It's last year we were 43, year before 23. We're at 27 just now, so probably by the time the year's out, 30, 35-ish, I would guess. Obviously, you know, it's nice not to have to get called out, but that's what the organisation's here for.
Are there any precautions people can take when they go out in the water?
Always precautions to take. You know, obviously maintenance, wear life jackets. We have sea safety officers as well who go around doing road shows, checking people's life jackets free of charge, and happens to advise people, you know, they can go and do a check on someone's boat. So, you know, just normal precautions.
And if people want to volunteer with the RNLI, how can they go about that?
They can go about it by, they can contact individual stations. Most stations have their website, so they can check on the website. Unfortunately for our station just now, our crew list is closed because we have sufficient numbers. But it doesn't mean to say that, you know, if you are interested, come down, have a chat. You know, if you're within the geographical area, for us, it's within Helensburgh area, because obviously if the pagers do go off, you need to be able to get there. Someone having a laugh in the background. I'll get them later. And you know, you just need to be able to get down within a reasonable duration.
Brilliant. That's Carrick Roy here at the Helensburgh RNLI. It's back to you guys.
Thanks, Colin. Now, I'm joined by Jamie Brotherston from the STV Glasgow app team to find out what's been happening online. Jamie, what's the chat?
Jennifer. Well, there's been a hell of a lot of talk of Pedal for Scotland, funnily enough.
Crazy.
And one of the things that we thought was that people just had to see was Colin Stone at 6:39 in the morning. Now, he looks like a wee panda to me. I don't think he's seen his alarm clock at that time before.
No, he looks a bit terrified, doesn't he?
Absolutely, absolutely. And obviously, it was a great day. The route went through, you know, the heart of the Central Belt, from Glasgow Green to Coat Bridge in Lithgow, and then finishing up on the hallowed ground at Murrayfield.
It did indeed.
Thousands of people really put power to the pedal and had a great day.
I'm glad you brought that picture up of Colin, because I've not seen that, and he is getting made fun of for that one later on. That's hilarious.
Absolutely. And yeah, some completed it in under 4 hours. Wow. You know, it takes me longer to drive to Edinburgh sometimes.
No, quick cycle, yikes.
But the STV Glasgow team took 8 hours.
8 hours, yeah, that sounds about right. To be fair, we had to stop a lot and do a lot of filming, didn't we, David?
Yep, 8 hours, I think that might be wrong. Maybe near 4.5, I think. Someone couldn't read their watch properly.
Timings. We actually went back to Glasgow and cycled back through.
See, I thought you were sharing a bike. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there's Katie Palmer, who you'll know from the social media hub.
Indeed.
There with
Making
Mark
pals
Beaumont.
with Mark.
And that's right. And that's Katie's bike there with the basket on it. So she did 47 miles.
She looked the best. She looked very glamorous doing it. I liked it.
There's a wee pit stop there for the guys. I'm sure they were needing it.
Storm's got her eye on the cakes there. I like that. Excellent stuff.
So yeah, I mean, you know, Pedal for Scotland, you know, just there's a lot of really happy people. You know.
How can people get in touch with the more pictures of Pedal for Scotland?
You can tweet us at Riverside Show, remember the hashtag. Please STV Glasgow, which is our hashtag the Riverside Show. Sorry, you can email us at theriverside@stv.tv. You can Facebook us and don't forget to download the Glasgow City app.
Thank you very much indeed. Of course, download the STV Glasgow app to keep up to date with everything going on in the city, as well as to find out more about everything featured right here on the Riverside Show.
Well, it's a new week, and that means a whole load of new gigs, events and more to get our teeth stuck into this week. And here's Rachel Filton with a look ahead to what's on.
Welcome to your Monday What's On guide, where we give you Glasgow's best reasons for getting out of the house, but also plenty of good TV if you want to stay in. The second week of September begins with some big names and plenty of wonderful gigs to go to, including none other than Art Garfunkel, one half of 60s wonder duo Simon and Garfunkel. If, like me, you grew up listening to The Sound of Silence and The Boxer on cassette tape, Dad's cassette tapes, obviously, you'll love hearing some of the old tracks at the Royal Concert Hall tonight. Art will also be playing some of his newer stuff after taking a short break from performing due to voice problems. It starts at 8 and tickets are £30 and up. And if you don't fancy a bit of art, Benjamin Booker is at King Tut's tonight with his raw boogie, soul and blues to ease you into the working week. Tickets are £8 and it starts at 8:30. On Tuesday, if you fancy an evening of soaring, progressive post-rock, can't ever say I've had one of those myself, but it sounds nice, the Shaking Sensations come to Block on Tuesday, supported by a sudden burst of colour, among others. It's free to get in, so all the more reason to head down. And finally, veteran crooner and all-round suave guy Tony Bennett is at the Royal Concert Hall on Tuesday night. He'll be singing a host of classics in his usual laid-back fashion, and it all starts at 8. Tickets range between £35 and £75. Lady Gaga sold separately. But if you're not heading out and you fancy a wee night in, why not get stuck into some STV Glasgow? After the Riverside show tonight, we've got plenty to distract you from the fact it's Monday again. Here's a look at what's coming up. After the Riverside show, we've got Peter and Ruffy's football show at 8:30. At 9, we've got Scotland Revealed, visiting Balmoral and Aberdeen. At 10 p.m, it's all our news from the dedicated Glasgow news team, followed by politics and current affairs on Scotland Tonight at 10:30. All that still to come on STV Glasgow.
Thanks, Rachel. It's time for us to take another short break, but stay tuned because we finish up our tea for a tenner with Josh from Mr. Sings after the break, and we'll chat to the organisers of the Southside Film Festival. Welcome back to the Riverside Show, and we're back in the kitchen with Josh from Mr. Sings India, who's making our tea for a tenner tonight, and we're making haggis pakora. Do you know, actually, before we just came on air, that we both licked our lips. We actually did. We can't wait for this.
I can see the pakora already made. I'm so excited. But we should finish off because we want to work out how to actually make it. So we've got small cubes of haggis.
Yeah, already
so we've
cut.
Got them there.
Yeah.
Okay, and we've cut up them into small pieces, and this is now going into the batter that we made earlier.
And once your haggis is coated with the pakora batter from all sides like this, then you drop the excess batter in a bowl and slowly release in oil. Ooh. So it's very simple, and it will take 2 to 3 minutes in a fryer. Maximum time 3 minutes. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
If you leave your pakora too long, then it's gonna be dry. So.
If you're doing this at home, can you put it in? Obviously, this fryer comes with a basket. Can you put the pakora into the basket and drop it in? Yeah, is that maybe the safest way to do it?
No, you just drop the basket in oil first. Otherwise, they're gonna stick in your basket. Yeah, so.
But you know, please do be careful at home if you're doing this with hot oil.
If you want, you can use a tongue to release those.
Okay.
In
so you could drop it in with these.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so we leave them for about 2 to 3 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes, yeah.
Now this is, I think this is maybe potentially David's favourite part. We're going to make the pakora sauce.
Yep.
Yeah, so
and I'm quite fussy with my pakora sauce. Is this the pink pakora sauce?
Yeah, that's a pink pakora sauce, and which is a yogurt-based sauce.
Right.
Okay, so that's a natural yogurt, and I'm gonna put some mint sauce in it.
Right.
Okay.
And again, all these ingredients that we've got here, we can get in the supermarket.
Yeah, chili powder.
Right.
If you like more spicy, you can add more chilies in it. That's a roasted, crushed cumin sheets.
Okay.
So.
Perfect.
Salt.
Just a wee bit of the spices again.
Yeah.
Very useful to have everywhere.
I can't even talk right now because I'm trying to concentrate so much in getting this.
Make sure you remember it all.
Yeah. And we don't need like so much salt in it because ketchup already is a little bit salty and the mint is already salt.
Okay.
So
add in a wee bit of
that's
ketchup.
it. And you just mix it. And David, if you want, you can just mix it.
Put him in charge of the mixing.
So I will take care of pakora.
Look at you, you're making your very own pakora sauce.
I'm taking this whole bowl home with this.
Got to take a picture so you remember it forever.
If you ever get to come to my house for dinner, Jennifer, you'll have soup.
Oh, thanks very much. Resemble a pakora sauce by any chance? Oh dear.
So how long do we have to whisk this for?
Until all small, tiny lumps mix.
Till the end of the show.
I cycled 47 miles yesterday. I don't know if I've got that much energy left in me.
You cycle with your legs, not your arms. Calm down. Get going.
The control on those handlebars.
It's actually my wrist that's sore. It's ridiculous. I couldn't possibly be doing that. Doing a good job. Well done.
So that's the haggis already done here, and once your haggis comes on top of oil and looks nice and crispy, so that means it's ready to serve. Take them out, drain the excess oil, and that's your haggis pakora ready.
Oh, so exciting.
Anytime you want to tell me to stop, Josh, with this pakora sauce, so good for me. Not yet though.
That's okay then. That's done. Yeah, that's fine. Perfect sauce. Yeah. So I'm gonna add this.
This is so exciting. So is the fusion between Indian and Scottish food a popular thing within Mr. Sings?
Yeah. Like we have 7-8 dishes, haggis dishes in our a la carte menu, which is like haggis naan, haggis bhatura, haggis, neeps and tatty samosa.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yes. And we do some fusion haggis curries as well, like chasni, ambala, or bhuna, stuff like that. So haggis curries and the starters very popular in Mr. Singh's.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Bit of a Glasgow institution as well, Mr. Singh's.
Yeah. So we do a pakoda masterclass, me and our head chef Bari. So we run pakoda masterclasses as well. Yeah. So
delicious.
yeah.
We're very privileged to get our own wee masterclass here tonight.
So that's the pakoda ready. Would you like to taste it?
Yep, well,
Yes,
we'll put them
I'd
on
love to
the this
taste
plate
it.
over. So how can we take part in the masterclass then? Can anyone come along?
If we forget how to do it tonight,
Yep.
how do we come along, get involved?
Just come anytime. We do a pakoda masterclass on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
So we do over 3 pakodas there: chicken, vegetable, and haggis.
And you can just book in at the restaurant?
Yeah, you just book in online or maybe restaurant.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Where is the restaurant again? If people haven't been?
It's a Charing Cross.
Charing Cross.
Elderslie Street.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So.
Been there for quite some time as well.
Right. Should we get going and see excited?
I can't wait
excited about this as well.
for this.
Go in for some of the
Tell me what you think
expertly
of that
made
pakoda
sauce.
sauce. Just before you get to enjoy the haggis pakoda, just tell me what you think of that pakoda sauce.
Delicious.
Yeah? Good?
It's hot.
Right. Let's have a wee taste.
So good. Haggis pakoda works so well.
Yeah.
Perfect fusion.
And nice with there's a bit of spice in it, obviously, from the haggis as well, and all the extra spices that are in the batter. They're delicious.
So good.
Well, let me know what to do. We know how to make a haggis pakoda. Yeah.
Sorry, I can't even speak. I'm enjoying it so much. Josh, thank you so much for
Thanks
coming
a
in.
lot.
It's absolutely
Thank you very
delicious.
much.
Top tips there.
Highlight of the day.
Oh, absolutely. Now, if I finish eating, that's
okay.
ridiculous. Now,
That's good.
tomorrow sees the start of the Southside Film Festival taking place in Shawlands, with screenings beginning at one of our favourite venues in Glasgow, the Glad Cafe, just opposite the shed at Shawlands Cross. Here's a taste of what sort of things you can expect.
I'm Stephen McCall, and the Southside Film Festival is bringing film back to the Southside. Nothing beats a big screen. Nothing will ever beat it.
The thing I remember about going to the cinema as a kid was it was a fun thing to do.
It's about the environment, what you create when people are coming in.
And the Southside Film Festival brings a lot of that joy back.
It's the anticipation of the movie coming on.
Seeing a film which you don't normally see in a venue which you don't normally associate with films, with people that you might have seen up the park but never actually spoke to before, it's a fantastic thing.
And I loved sitting in venues which felt like proper venues. You still felt you were somewhere a little bit special. There's an element of magic about it.
Oh, that is tremendous.
Any small film festival should have a place for locals to show their films. Good, bad, indifferent, weird, wrong.
You're going somewhere local, there's people there who are your neighbours, and you realise that, well, actually they're making films, they're writing films, they're shooting films. It's something that I can do.
Grab your mates, a camera, an idea, shoot it, edit it, let's show it.
You get these behind the facade views of Glasgow and the south side by some local filmmakers.
Now and again there's an event that's thrown that just throws you and you just, I never expected to see that movie in that environment.
It's a wonderful thing to go and see something you wouldn't expect to see in a venue you wouldn't expect to be in with your neighbours, with your community. How good is that?
And we're joined now by Shane McGill from the Southside Film Festival to tell us more. Shane, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Now, we heard a little bit about the festival in the film there, but tell us what we can expect over the coming weeks.
Well, starting tomorrow night in the Glad Cafe, we've got a screening of The Punk Singer, which is a documentary about Kathleen Hanna. That kicks off this film club, which is something we've been doing for about 2 years now. This will be the 5th edition of it. We originally started off doing the film festival, so we've had 3 of those, but we like to keep a presence, especially in somewhere a venues so good as the Glad Cafe as well.
Yeah, and it's apparently largely music themed this year, is that right?
Yeah.
Why would you decide to go down that route?
Well, Glasgow is known the world over as being a music city. I think it's got World Music City status, and if you only have to go onto any street in Glasgow, I think, to find a gig each night. And we've also had quite a few music documentary screenings during the festivals, which have been, like, without a doubt, the biggest successes that we've had. So we thought, let's have a full season and like have a really good mix of films as well.
Yeah, that's true. We've had some fantastic music acts on here as well, so we've seen the talent all over the city. It's amazing.
And a city that loves music and also has a love for film as well. It's a good combination. And there seems to be more and more of these small festivals popping up across the city. What do you think the appeal is?
I think for me the appeal of it is that you can get involved, and there's so much going on in a city like Glasgow. In my experience, the Southside has got things like the Southside Festival, which has been on for quite a few years, the Southside Fringe, which started last year, and ourselves, and we've collaborated with numerous groups and organisations as well. So there's so much going on at a local level, and when it all comes together, there's quite a lot of good things happening.
Yeah, the area around like Shawlands and Shawland Cross, it's quite a sort of a creative hub at the moment, isn't it? Everything's starting to come together it's amazing to see.
Yeah, I think with the Glad Cafe, we've been working with them for a few years now, and they've got fantastic technology. It's like almost as good as being a big multiplex. And there's also, I think as I said, the Southside Fringe has been really successful over the past few years, and I think that part of Glasgow has had quite a history of cinema as well. It's got a very rich cinematic heritage. I think if you stood at Shawlands Cross, if you looked down any of those streets, there's so many old buildings that used to be cinemas, which are now supermarkets or cafes, nightclubs, all sorts of things. And we've been using some of those venues as well, just because we knew that people went to watch films in those. So
yeah, there's amazing venues round about that area actually.
And the festival runs right the way through for the next couple of months, including Halloween, and you've got some treats up your sleeve for Halloween.
We've got 2 special events, and I think that Halloween, it's what cinema's made for, really, I think. So if you think back to films like Nosferatu or The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, it's those silent films with Wurlitzer accompaniment, and we've recreated some of that over past film festivals. We're going to be having a screening of Don't Look Now, which is a Nicholas Roeg film at Pollock House. We previously screened Gosford Park there, and we had there was a meal before the film as well, so it had a bit of an upstairs downstairs theme.
Pollock House is a phenomenal venue for that.
To have access to that, and people that come along to the film, they can see the house. And we will, be having an Italian-themed dinner just beforehand as well.
Ooh,
possibly some supernatural going on.
Oh gosh, that sounds a bit scary. I can't handle scary things.
Too frightened to eat your tea?
Potentially. Oh no, I'm probably never too frightened to eat. Actually, no, that's silly. But if people want to find out a bit more, buy tickets, how can they go about doing that?
I think the best thing to do is to follow us on Twitter or Facebook. We're very active on there. We've also got Instagram, Vimeo, where you can watch some more trailers of previous events. Also, this season we're selling tickets on Brown Paper Tickets. It's a website that helps lots of organisations like us to get their tickets out to the wider community. So all those social media places, or come along tomorrow night.
Brilliant.
Sounds fantastic.
Like a good one.
Shane, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we're going to take one last break, but when we come back we'll have more music from the brilliant Cutthroat Razors, who'll be performing live in the studio, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Riverside Show, and I'm here with Jamie Brotherson from the STV Glasgow app team to find out what you've been posting on social media tonight and throughout the day. And Jamie, anything to do with the Scotland game last night?
Twitter and social media was on fire about the football, and there are 2 words that you can sum the whole game up with, and that was Muller corner. 2 goals from Thomas Muller, unfortunately, put Scotland away, and then we had a corner at the end, but the referee blew the whistle, so the game came to an end. There was a bit of debate about that, but Gordon Strachan remained kind of tight-lipped about it, so it was probably best. But no, a great time was had by all. There was 5,000 of the Tartan Army in Dortmund. They filled up the town square with fairy liquid, the fountain in the town square.
It's become a bit of a regular occurrence.
So, if anything, we gave it a clean. The beer halls were full of fans, mixing together, having a great time. It keeps you in you. He showed some real class, and he showed that Gordon Strachan is doing some good things with the team to net really well, taking goal. But it wasn't enough. They're the world champions, and people have been saying that on Twitter. So I think most people have been actually quite happy with it, to be honest.
We said earlier on in the paper review, a heroic defeat.
Yeah, that's it. Plucky defeat. Plucky Scots go down. That's always the line, isn't it? Unfortunately, but I think there's a lot of good signs going forward. And people are seeing that, so it's good. People are being positive.
And how can people get in touch with the show?
They can tweet us at STV Glasgow and hashtag Riverside Show. You can email us at Riverside Show at STV.tv. Sorry, you can find us on Facebook, and don't forget to download our Glasgow City app.
Brilliant, thank you very much, Jamie. And you can download the STV Glasgow app to keep up to date with everything going on in the city as well, and you can also find out everything featured right here on the Riverside Show, the latest news, weather and everything you need to know about Glasgow. And we always like to end the Riverside Show with some live music, and we like to start the week by blowing away the Monday blues, of course. And to help us do both of those things, we've got the magnificent Cutthroat Razors with their song Freedom.
Suburbs, broken radio. When I heard the declaration, more times lost in soul. Right there in Detroit City, came a haunting melody. Oh, the skin was different. Struck a chord with me, and I remember thinking, this is something I should know. They said, get up, stand up, shut up, grab your things and go. They got no feelings for you. They got no feelings for you. Desolation, apocalyptic scene, picking through the wreckage of a burnt-out limousine. These beautiful reminders of when we were kids. Another thing, nightmares, judging all our sins. Well, I saw a dead man walking, said the Ripper took his soul. They said, get up, stand up, shut up, pack your things and go. They got no feelings for you. They got no feelings for you. That moonshine's lasting so. They said, get up, stand up, shut up, pack your things and go. They got no feelings for you. They got no feelings for you. They got no feelings for her. They got no feelings for him. They got no feelings for you. They got no feelings for her. They got no feelings for him. They got no feelings for you.
stuff, guys. Thank you very much. So we'll squeeze in here.
Thank you. That was brilliant.
That was amazing.
Glad to have you on the show performing tonight, because the last time you were on was just ahead of the Oxjam Festival, beginning of August.
That's right. Yeah.
So, although in fairness, when we heard you were coming on to perform, we thought we're going to need a bigger studio, you guys. But what was it like performing at Oxjam?
That was great. I mean, it was great. It was nice and sleazy. So it was a fundraising event. So we raised quite a bit of money, and it was 3 great bands, great wee venue, plenty of people there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All good things there. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, what else have you been up to since Oxjam? Have you been busy?
Yeah, we were playing at King Tut's last week with 2 other bands, Junkman's Choir and Trongate Rum Riots. So with ourselves, it was all a bit of an ease up, plenty of people jumping about and having a great time. So yeah, it was
Sounds like good. I believe that, because I keep wanting to dance every time. I'm not going to do that for anyone at home because it's not good, but that's...
We've got
come up on stage and join us.
We can't. You can be a backing dancer then.
Again, I'm not going to inflict that on anybody, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Where can we see you then over the next couple of weeks and months? Where can we see you?
Okay, so at the end of the month, we're playing Classic Grand, 26th of September. We're playing with another great band, soul band called Stone Foundation. And then we are playing the Oxjam Festival on 18th or the 19th, it's a Saturday night. So that's the final day, and we're playing on O'Neill's on that night. Yeah.
Fantastic. And you've got one more song. What are you going to do?
We're going to do She's My Baby.
She's My Baby. Fantastic. Well, that's all we've got time for tonight. Thank you to everyone for coming in with us, of course, and you for watching. We'll be back in the normal time of 6:30 tomorrow, but now to close the show, we leave you in the very capable hands of the Cutthroat Razors. Thanks very much, guys.
Such a thrill, she's my baby. She's 60 chic, she's sweet, 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 she's my baby. She's all I want, all I need. No one's gonna take her from me. She's so hot, she's so cool. Mary Quine, quintessentially. We go out, she makes a fuss. We're just happy, just the 2 of us. And all things